If this video found you, it's not random. There are moments in life when something shifts, not on the outside, but inside you. A moment where everything you've been through starts to make sense. And maybe this is that moment for you. Because you didn't get here by accident. You didn't just arrive at this point in your life. You've been through things most people don't see. You've carried things quietly. You've kept going, even when it felt like nothing was working. Even when you were tired. Even when you doubted yourself. Even when it would have been easier to stop. But you didn't. You kept going. And that matters more than you think. Because most people quit long before things begin to change. They stop right before the moment where everything starts to shift. But you didn't stop. And that's why this moment is different. Because what you've been building, what you've been going through, what you've been learning, it wasn't for nothing. It was preparing you for what's next, for the version of yourself you're becoming, for the life you're stepping into. There's a point in every journey where things begin to turn, where all the effort, all the patience, all the struggle starts coming together, not all at once, but in a way you can feel a shift in your mindset, a shift in your confidence, a shift in the way you see yourself. And when that shift happens, everything begins to change, because the moment you start seeing yourself differently, you start acting differently, you start deciding differently, you start moving differently, and those changes begin creating new results. This is how breakthroughs actually happen, not overnight, but from everything that came before. And if you're watching this right now, it might be because you're closer than you think, closer to that shift, closer to that breakthrough, closer to the moment where things begin to align. The problem is, most people don't recognize this moment when it arrives, because it doesn't always look dramatic. It doesn't always feel obvious. Sometimes it just feels like a quiet realization, a feeling that something is changing, a sense that you can't go back to the way you were before. And that's because you're growing, you're evolving, you're stepping into something new. This is not the time to doubt yourself. This is not the time to question whether it's possible. This is the time to trust everything you've been through, to trust the process, to trust yourself, because everything you've experienced has been shaping you into the person who is ready for this moment. And the truth is, you don't need to become someone else to succeed. You don't need to wait until you're ready. You already are. You've been becoming this version of yourself for a long time, through every challenge, every setback, every moment where you chose to keep going. All of it built something inside you, strength, awareness, resilience, and now it's time to use it. This is where things begin to shift, not later, not someday, now. This is the beginning, the moment where you stop waiting, the moment where you stop holding back, the moment where you decide to move forward, fully, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's uncertain, because growth always feels like that. And that's how you know you're moving in the right direction. You don't need everything to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take the next step, and then the next, because momentum is created through action. And once you start moving, things begin to open up. Opportunities appear, ideas become clearer, confidence grows, but it all starts with a decision to stop doubting yourself, a decision to trust that what you've been through was leading you somewhere, and maybe it was leading you here, to this moment, Right now, where you realize that you're not stuck, you're not behind, you're not lost. You're just at the point where things are about to change, and the only thing left is for you to step into it, to stop waiting for permission, to stop waiting for the perfect moment, because this is the moment. Right now, this is where it begins. Not in some distant future, not when everything feels perfect, not when you finally feel ready, because the truth is, you may never feel completely ready. And that's okay, because readiness is not what creates change. Decision does. The moment you decide to move forward, even with uncertainty, even with doubt, even without having all the answers, that's when your life begins to shift. And maybe that's what this moment is asking of you. Not perfection, not certainty, but courage. The courage to trust yourself, the courage to take the next step, the courage to believe that everything you've been through was not random. It was preparation. Preparation for this version of you. The version of you who doesn't give up, the version of you who keeps going, the version of you who is ready to step into something bigger. Because growth doesn't happen when everything is comfortable. It happens when you move forward anyway. And right now, you are standing at a point where you can choose. You can go back to old patterns, old habits, old ways of thinking, or you can step into something new, a new mindset, a new direction, a new way of seeing yourself. And that choice doesn't happen someday. It happens in moments like this. Quiet moments, simple moments, moments where something inside you says, it's time. And you don't need to rush. You don't need to have everything figured out overnight. Just begin. Start with one step. One decision, one shift in the way you think, because even the smallest step forward is still movement. And movement creates momentum, and momentum creates change. So trust this moment, trust where you are, trust what you've been through, because nothing you experienced was wasted. It all built something inside you, something stronger, something more aware, something ready for what's next, ready to move forward, ready to step into the life you've been building toward. And it doesn't start later, it starts now. It starts with you, right here, right now.